feel the heat with somebody. Yeah, I wanna dance with somebody. With somebody who loves me. Oh, I wanna dance with somebody. I wanna feel the heat with somebody. Yeah, I wanna dance with somebody. With somebody who loves me.
We've got the great Shannon Rubicam and George Merrill, what I consider to be some of the greatest songwriters. We just heard a little bit of I Want to Dance with Somebody, which is one of those songs. I think right now it currently sits at about 1.5 billion streams on Spotify, and it was 8 times platinum. So over, was that 8 million? Is that it's a million for platinum, I think.
So, yeah.
So we're assuming at least 8 million, and if people listen to it more than one time, it's not captured in the Spotify streams, but certainly everybody knows this. I think that there's probably few weddings that don't include this song. So I want to go back to the beginning on this. I know that this wasn't the first time that you had written a song for Whitney Houston, and we'll get to some of those other ones as we go, but can you explain to me how the song came about and sort of the development of kind of how it started and then when it got into the hands of Whitney and then the production, et cetera?
Well, as I recall it, Clive called,
Yeah.
needed another song. I think he was surely looking for an up-tempo song from us because that's what How Will I Know had been, and it sort of filled that bill for rounding out the album. And so we wrote Waiting for a Star to Fall.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And they ended up passing on that. So we did it. But then we wrote I Want to Dance with Somebody. We thought, well, we can't let the opportunity go. We've got to write one more song. And we wanted to write a song that was airtight, that was just so solid on its own, so it could be an up-tempo, it could be a ballad, it was just going to be, and it would be something we could all sing. Mm-hmm. And so I think that was generally our approach. I mean, and something highly relatable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if I've got this right, you wrote the Boy Meets Girl song, Waiting for a Star to Fall, before you wrote I Want to Dance with Somebody.
We did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then that was what you had initially pitched to Clive Davis as the possible song. And did it ever even get to the point where that got to Whitney, or was it just like like it was dead in its tracks with him?
I think it was dead in its tracks with him because Clive is always sounds very clear about what it is that he wants, and when he hears it, he knows it. And so Waiting for a Star to Fall didn't quite fit the bill, and so we went back to the drawing board.
Yeah.
Wonder if you regretted that later, with all the success you had with that song.
I doubt it. I mean, because, there was plenty of Whitney success for her and for Clive, and I think he was right.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. I remember that occurring to both of us as we got the rejection letter from
yes.
Clive.
Which we should have kept.
Oh, we have it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, maybe we'll show a little of
Yeah,
that so you can see.
Yeah, we have it upstairs.
Was he gentle and
He was. It was
So
actually
polite.
Yeah, he was, and he said, "It's a great song, but unfortunately, we're just not hearing it for Whitney."
Yeah.
That sort of thing. It was lovely.
And we have other, believe me, rejection letters that
Yeah.
are much more brief.
Yeah, but it's worth keeping it because But I remember at that time there was a disappointment because we had put all our eggs, thinking that we'd done it, we'd written the
Yes.
song. Yeah, job done. Because the song came out of a moment that seemed like it was a meant to be moment for Whitney. Mm-hmm.
And we can get into that.
Yeah. So, faced with that, I think that's when I took a look at Waiting for a Star to Fall and realized, you know what? really, I mean, I would love to hear Whitney sing this, but this is a boy meets girl song. You know, it's like the demo, me singing it and all. It was something that we just needed to own as boy meets girl. And so that really we turned our attentions to writing something, for Whitney, thinking about her vocal, what she'd done on How Will I Know, and all,
Back to the garage studio we went.
Yeah. And we had a real clear sense of, then I think actually the rejection probably, cleared the way for I Want to Dance with Somebody, because we.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
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 And for the lyric, I think we generally start with a lyric,
Yeah.
and then I'll show George some, a few lines, or maybe I'll have like what I think might be a verse and a chorus, and then the dissection begins. But on that song, I had a visual for it, and I just could see like somebody single. Watching the clock, and it's 4:00, it's 5:00. I don't have anything to do tonight, and I'm feeling isolated and alone, and so what will I do,
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of had that visual, and I had that whole feeling of it come into me, and so I just pictured that someone would go out, and really what they're looking for is connection and love, and something real.
Yeah.
Something authentic.
That's
So
actually
it sprang from there.
at the heart for me, even though the music, was I loved putting the music together to support that, but I still feel like the lyric is really what drives that song. I think if the story, that simple story, is just something that I think a lot of people have their own personal experience with that.
Yeah, their sense of yearning.
Yeah, you went to the heart of it.
But
there,
the chords that you put to it are so, they have that warmth and singability, and yeah,
Yeah, well,
that anthemic quality.
and it had a darkness, but it needed to be bright. It needed to open its chest and sing out there
Right,
at
yeah.
the chorus.
I tend toward a more melancholy lyric, and that's just kind of what's in me. And then George brightens it up with the music.
Would you say that the arrangement, like from what you played in the introduction, was it originally kind of more of that sort of like chord, like the way you voice those chords, kind of the approach? Was it more similar to that, or would you say that as it started in its embryonic stages, it was more pop than that?
I think right off the bat we were hearing a more aggressive,
Yeah.
up-tempo thing, and actually we were influenced by Missing Persons and some other records at the time, and I remember, and actually if you listen to the demo, you can hear the PPG synth in the intro. It's kind of this calliope sort of thing, and it comes on. It's like a big brash out of the box opening. I just wanted to get everybody's attention. Drum machines just banging away.
Well, and we wrote it on one of your synths. I can't remember what you were using.
It was.
at the
I think
time.
it was the Jupiter 8.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Because we didn't write it on this piano.
No, I think I remember in the garage we had a triad rack.
Right.
And I remember the Jupiter 8. And I remember standing there in a parka or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was very, it was the production and our approach to writing, it was very of the time, synth-oriented.
Yeah.
And we absolutely knew that it should be an up-tempo song for Clive.
How long did it take you to like get to the point where you had sort of composed the lyrics and had kind of created sort of the skeleton, let's say, of the song? Like, you know, was that a day? Was that weeks? How long did that kind of take to compose?
I think it was a few days. Yeah.
It came in quickly.
Yeah.
It was just clear to us.
Yeah. Well, and once we had that chorus, it's like everything came from that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it just flowed.
Yeah, not every song's like that, but yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Some songs you agonize over, but this was not one of them.
Mm-hmm. So a couple of days, and then had you already created the demo then at that point that you would submit, or did it have to go through more rounds in order to kind of...
We had the idea at home, and oftentimes we would do some sort of a mock-up for ourselves. But in those days, we'd go off to a studio, hire players, and you know, do a proper demo.
Mm-hmm.
Because did you have a TAC at home? Is that what we had at the time?
We had a 4-track TAC.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. And we'd do bounces and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But for this one, what we did is we collected our ideas. I wrote charts, and we called up bass player extraordinaire Leon Gare. He was one of the main session guys in Los Angeles at the time. John Gu played guitar.
And
also, same
Joachim,
thing,
did we do?
Star session player. And Joachim, Michael Joachim did I think he did overdubs, because I remember using a DMX drum machine for most of it.
Yeah.
You know, and then I think he did cymbal. You know, for the demo, I wonder if we did. I seem like Michael came in and did some stuff too. Have to listen to the demo.
I think he did. We went to sort of a neighborhood recording studio called Nat's Deli up in Santa Monica, 20th or something, you know.
Yeah, and our good friend Joey Wolpert was the engineer, and he's been, you know, part of recording our early demos, you know, all along. Let's see, we have a ton of demos he did, but that he did that one.
Yeah.
And was that typically, like, in those days, were you having to absorb all the costs of like the demos and all that stuff, or did the record labels typically like work with you on that stuff, or what did that division look like? Do you remember any details?
We had a publishing deal, and so the publisher paid for our demos. Yeah.
Yeah, we'd submit. I think we just would submit an invoice after the sessions.
Right.
Yeah, it wasn't a set amount. And our sessions weren't exorbitant. Not, you know, we banged the demo out in. It wasn't a live session. It was all overdubs, but
it was mostly a day.
A day of the tracking, and then we had Susan Boyd, our good friend, come in and sing the chorus vocals.
Power background vocals.
She's the one that takes us away from being little birds to. You know,
yeah,
Falcons.
she was our good luck power vocalist.
All right.
And then I sang the lead, and so I think it came off more as sort of a pop rock song. Really.
Well, and you like, I remember the day of your vocal, you came in to do your leaders. It's like I remember you were still kind of going, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I can sing this song, but it's like if you listened to the demo, you just were out of your skull. You just like became a. You found another level.
Yeah.
Too, you really sang it well.
Well, and then once we had it, George called up Clive Davis and he said, I've got this song. We've got another demo ready, and I'd like to get it to you. And Clive was at the airport.
And it was just a few weeks after he had called us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was shortly after.
Yeah.
And so Clive was at the airport at LAX, and we lived 8 minutes from there. So George said, well, I could just drive down there. It's an 8-minute drive. You know, and back in those days, you could stop at the curb.
Yeah, and he said, meet me at the gate. You know, so there's no TSA. So,
No, yeah.
So I just left the car. I think I left the car, and I did my,
Run to
through the
gate.
airport thing.
Yeah, your OJ run.
And there was Clive with his briefcase, and he was ready to get on his flight, TWA, and I handed him a cassette. Yeah. Yeah.
And then presumably he was going to New York or something like that?
Yeah, he listened to it on the plane and called us when he got back. Yeah,
what did he say? Is that this is it, or?
I think I might have said something brash like, we're doing also Boy Meets Girl, and we're putting an album together, and so if you don't, because I was a little worried he was gonna I was preempting him
rejection.
So I was kind of setting it up and said, well, we'll use it for our own record, and I think he said some expletives that I shouldn't probably say. He told me to F off, I think. I did say it.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
But the gist of it was he was keeping it for Whitney.
No, he was, so it was pretty cool.
And what was that timeline between, so you delivered him the demo, and then how long after that was it, then it, got into Narda's hands, and then it started being recorded? Do you have any sense of how long that took?
It was faster than the roundabout that How Will I Know took.
It was.
Yeah.
I don't know about what people's schedules were and all that, really.
I don't remember all that.
It happened very quickly, because I know everything, it all happened quickly, because it ended up being the first single on that album, on her second album.
And I think it probably went from, Clive to having Whitney hear it, and then straight to Narda, because he'd already proven himself with How Will I Know, and that worked.
And were you involved with anything at the point with which it got to Narda, or would you interface at all with him, or was kind of like at that point you guys were kind of out of the
I don't think we had any, we had contact for How Will I Know. I remember having contact when they were in the studio, but on I Want to Dance with Somebody, I think he listened to it. Well, I think he said things to us where he was trying to figure out what to do with it, and then he came up with this.
Here's what happened. I completely forgot about
what's
this.
That?
Well, we received a call from, I think it was from Clive himself, and he said, I would really like these to be sexier lyrics.
That's right.
Which is really not my area. And it kind of disappointed me, because I thought, you know what? This is right as it is.
And Whitney can make it.
Right.
Yeah.
But I didn't say that to him, because he was Clive Davis, and I was a little intimidated. So I know I sat down and I wrote some what I, judged to be sexier lyrics.
Oh, you totally
but I
did,
didn't like them. And I felt like it was an emotional song, and it should be coming from your heart. And so I got those done. I think we called up Narda's assistant and got the fax number and faxed them over, old school.
Yeah.
And he never received them. The universe ate them or something. And I was so happy about that.
We assumed that they had been put on her music stand for her to sing. And then when we heard the first, I remember hearing it the first time, both of us were thrilled, because, and when also, that's the vocal that we all know and love, and it's sexy, and that's exactly what Clive told us. He said, good job. Good job.
So I don't know if he really knew.
Yeah, he didn't know that.
I don't. No. We were relieved. I can't tell you how relieved I was. And, maybe somebody was sitting in his office and received these lyrics, Maybe I got the number wrong.
Yeah.
Fate intervened in some fashion. But as it turned out, Whitney made him, sexy cool, and...
Yeah, like that whole call and response thing, and then was that something that was baked into it, or was that something that she improvised?
She presented that, and I think as she as she riffed with it, then Narada ran with it, and it became this really, really
Right,
cool.
because I think
mean,
that
that's so
helps
much
add
fun.
to like the sex appeal element, and then the music
Oh,
video
yeah.
stuff is like a whole other
Huge.
thing that was
Yeah.
such a major component of the way that people. It was like another aid to sort of help understand the emotion of a song, and you could certainly make something look more sexy in that regard.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And you know that the production that Narada gave it is just so lively. It's almost carnival-like, and
It is.
and so bright and hopeful, and oh my God, they just nailed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it couldn't have ended up in better hands with Narada and Whitney, really, and Clive.
You know the answer to this, so I should know. But who was the synthesist on I Want to Dance with Somebody? Do you know? Was it Walter? Or?
I don't think Walter. He may have been Walter. He might have been. It could have been also Preston Glass.
Oh, sure.
But there's I know
No?
Preston's playing.
It's not it.
It's somebody with a little bit more dexterity, and that's why I thought it might have been Walter.
It might have been Walter. Yeah, because Walter I think was around by that time. I don't think he was around on How Will I Know.
I'll have to check it out
Yeah.
because whoever did that, wow, ba-da-bum-ba-dum-bum, they did that kind of
Yeah.
horn, synth horn, da-da-da-da-da-da in the beginning.
Yeah.
And if you listen to our demo, I had, like I mentioned earlier, I'd done this sort of calliope thing. And even though Narada took the track in a whole different direction, that sort of brash opening, it was kind of fun to hear that, that they'd come up with a similar sort of way to introduce you to the song.
Right. Well, and I don't know if Narada would remember this, but I remember reading long ago some interview with him where he listened to the demo and he couldn't figure out, he thought it sounded kind of country, and it kind of did, as I went back to listen to it. And so he wasn't certain how he could, rearrange the song to make it suit Whitney and be more pop.
Mm-hmm.
So I think what I read is that he went out and played tennis for a while and got his inspiration, because a lot of times physical movement is so good for getting out of yourself and out of your head.
Yeah.
So he did that, and then he went, I got it.
Yeah.
And I just looked it up. It was Walter.
It was?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
cool.
Actually, cool. Thank you.
Yeah. I just want to validate that.
Yeah.
Did you think though it would be sort of like the global anthem that it became? Like how confident are you on any song? Like whether it was How Will I Know or whether it was I Want to Dance with Somebody. When you submitted it, you knew it was a good song, but do you have a sense of when something's really gonna have like this stardom moment?
We had so few moments like that. I would say that we had nothing to compare it to. I mean, How Will I Know, the way it went off and everything, and other songs that we placed prior to that, but having that be the first single on Whitney's record, having it shoot right to #1 so quickly, it was like the whole thing was so stratospheric. We were just on uncharted territory, I think, right off the bat.
I knew that I felt it was a very cohesive song
Yeah.
and relatable, and I liked it. I liked singing it. So that's a good place to start, because sometimes you send a song out and you're a little bit, I don't know.
We
But
were
this felt
confident
solid.
of the song.
Yeah.
But I nobody can imagine they're going to have this kind of longevity, or that even the production and Whitney's voice is going to carry it so far. It was really, I mean, I'm still boggled, and by now I'm fairly dissociated from it, because it's gone off to its own life in the world.
When you hear it now, like let's say you're, I don't know, in a public place or a grocery store or a shopping mall, like does it still hit you in astonishment, or like what is the relationship you have with the
Every
song
time.
now?
It's still every time, and it's still new every time. It's like I'll be in the grocery store, and the one thing that happens is I'll get giddy, and I'll say to some shopper behind me, I go, I wrote this, man. This is so exciting. I'm
And they
being,
go, yeah,
I'm being
yeah,
Mr.
yeah.
Happy.
The
And
crazy guy.
They look at me, right? They look at me and go, yeah, cool, man. Cool, old man. No, you keep writing those songs.
Where's your minder?
I'm good with that. Anonymity, bring it on, man. It's fine. It's all good. So,
It is all
but
good.
It's there are moments like being in London about 2 years ago, being there on Piccadilly Square. I'm getting a little emotional about this because it's like this big giant bus, and the sound system's just blaring its Pride Festival, and just as they turn the corner right in front of us, it lights up, and the bus is lit up, but all of a sudden, the throngs of people all around are all singing the chorus and stuff. It was one of the coolest moments.
Yeah.
Still is. It's like that it can bring people together in that sort of way. You know, a song
Yeah.
can do that.
Or one of those pandemic balcony
Yeah.
songs, that people sang. And
Yeah.
I think it started in Italy, but worldwide people started going out on their balconies and singing so that there's connection.
Yeah.
And that's what that song is all about.
Yeah.
So that's an honor.
Yeah.
Just like that.
You might not know this, but the upcoming family wedding up in Seattle this next week. Gotta be quiet.
Yeah,
'cause
don't give anything away.
It's gonna be a flash mob moment that the family's gonna do, and they're gonna sing I Want to Dance with.
Yeah.
Someone will film it.
Yeah, you'll see it later.
Yeah, well, it's got to be an incredible honor to have such an anthem. That is. There's not that many of them. There's really not. Like for all of the great songwriters out there in the world, like how many of them just sort of materialize into something like this. So it's got to be incredibly humbling and honoring to be able to have that as part of your repertoire.
It is.
Yeah.
It is all that.
Yeah.
And I mean, Callum Scott is he just released a duet version
That's right.
with Whitney's vocal.
With somebody who loves me.
Which, who could imagine that a long time ago?
Right.
It wasn't even possible to the degree that it is now.
Yeah.
But, hearing his fans enjoy it, because he's going around doing promo now, and so he's got little bits of concerts and, flash mob footage in a
he did
French cafe or something,
Yeah, he did a pop-up moment in a Parisian cafe that we just saw yesterday. It was great.
Right.
And his piano player shows up, and a cellist comes in the door, and it was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's fun to see the magical longevity of it, really, and what it means to people.
And another generation, I'm sorry, but loved hearing about Oakley,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. My son is really into these songs, and we've talked about it separately in some of our kind of pre-interview stages. But he'll ask specifically for these. And Oakley, what do you think of that song?
I want to dance with somebody.
You wanted to play that song next? He's got his kind of, group of songs that he likes, and they're kind of all over the place. He's got I Want to Dance with Somebody, and then How Will I Know? And he likes one of the Bruce Hornsby songs, That's the Way It Is. And he likes the Police da do 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 da da da.
Oh,
yeah.
I would imagine that probably ranks pretty
It
high.
kind of almost had the
We
lyric
could
in
have a
itself.
whole playlist, the Oakley playlist.
But it's a lot of 80s music, as you can see.
True.
But yeah, it's good. I think that's incredible. I'm wondering too, like when you write a song like this and it comes out and hits number one, do you start getting like checks in the mail immediately, like for stuff like that? Like back in those days, how did it work with like an artist and publishing, and like how like the money side of things work? Because there's like there was sort of a difference in how things used to work back then.
It was structured differently. Well, I know in our situation, it was a quarterly or...
It was quarterly,
Yeah.
and I think there was always about a 3/4 lag between, and then you would start
Yeah, it was like-
seeing money coming in royalties.
Yeah, 9 months it was a proper gestation. I think.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah. And then all of a sudden, that one check would just be a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
Right.
I have to imagine, though, with just the longevity that this has had, that you guys still must be getting something from this, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
I mean, it actually never stopped.
Never stopped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there have been, peaks and valleys
Sure.
in it. And then, but I think with the internet, really,
Yeah.
it's really had a much more steady flow because people are accessing things all the time.
Yeah.
And it didn't
Worldwide,
used to be that way.
worldwide broadband, I think, and streaming and everything, that it made access so easy, I think, everywhere. And then you start adding up how many people there are in the world, you realize that kind of access may actually make it, as it keeps getting more robust, that writers starting out as we did might still have an opportunity to make it in the music business as writers without having as much of a struggle to have 5 jobs in order to make
Right.
it work. That's the aim, I hope.
Yeah.